Libra, welcome back for your February twin flame update. Those of you who are new, a very warm welcome, and those of you who are coming over from YILDIZ readings, welcome over, guys. Now, yes, I do have two channels. The other channel is called YILDIZ readings, and if you are wanting to get any astrology updates as well as your general reads and romance readings, you can get them over there. Both channels with Twin Flame, Alchemist to Union and YILDIZ readings, I do give away a 1 hour free reading, as well as when you are on during the live sessions, you know, if you've got anything paranormal happening or you want to tune into your gift or there's something coming up for you, you're able to ask questions after the live sessions and during, which can help you through your spiritual journey. If you are wanting to make a booking, the link is directly below. And if I do have time, I will try and do live feeds or an additional reading for those of you who directly do have contact, because a lot of that is transforming. Okay, there's an interesting read coming up. And again, next month I will be changing the readings up. But I sort of felt as though we needed to look at why things were happening. And a lot of what has been coming through from last month moving into this month has been connected to either you're processing it at a 3D level directly with your twin, or you're physically meditating upon it and removing any blocks to have your movement forward and really making cemented decisions. A lot of that was completed in January in a mindset, but it was the lack of energy to physically move forward, which is problematic. The interesting thing is, the first card you've got coming up, and I want to pull clarifier on it, it's really interesting. You might be feeling a bit lackluster. You might be feeling down on yourself, down on your luck, down on, and it does come down to your self-expression. So your chakra card is self-expression, and that's verbalizing, you know, showing your individuality. So it's strange because it's the first card that's come up. It may be your awareness of your twin, or it might be something you're at a temporary level going through, be it you're together or you're not. You know, you've got this energy of self-fulfilling prophecies of, hey, am I enough? That can be within your own energy, or it could be due to whatever you invest in. You sort of feel, oh, you know, I'm really lackluster here. I'm very tired. Communication is very important for Librans here. You know, providing you can communicate at that correct level, you'll have much success. Communication is really coming quite loud for you guys, especially employment. If you are worried about your finances, I feel that can be impacting you. Try and keep as grounded as possible. And like I've explained in other reads, you know, we know things are coming, but always look at the other side, how, you know, tools can be given to you to deal with the aspect of the adversity. But really coming into the month, I do feel communication is the key. So any adversity you're directly dealing with, be it with your twin or directly connected to your finances, where you invest in, be it in romantic connections or employment, I feel your expression is going to be key. You know, providing you can actually communicate the truth of your position, where you stand and what's going on. In the past, it may have been financial issues within the situation going on. So, you know, providing you can be very understanding and compassionate. And last month, you know, you had this energy in the mid-months where you were feeling a little bit cautious about your personal boundaries. So it can be something to that degree going on where you're moving into it thinking, oh, I don't want to be taken for a ride. And I don't feel that that's really what's going on. I feel it's more an energetic level of feeling quite fatigued. You are following your instincts, but also there is a lot hidden in your mind. And this is without even, you know, having the direct communication. You're having this inner knowing that there's something more to the puzzle than actually meets the eye. It may be an intuitive feeling. You're feeling a bit down. It might be this. Even if you haven't got communication, a lot of what can happen sometimes is you're getting triggered and you were feeling all okay, and then you get this download, and it's very, I wouldn't even call it a download. It's a pick up and a tap into the frequency of your twin. And it can be because something energetically has shifted with them, but you can't see it, but you can feel it. And the interesting thing is, in the same direct position, you know, moving into the beginning of the month, your twin is seeing the falsehood in situations, and it's caused a bit of despair. So it can be their frequency you're picking up on. So hopefully this can help. And if that's what's going on, you actually do know now that that's what's going on with twin. So this can affect your frequency. And again, moon energy. Moving forward where you're feeling intuitively, it sort of happened. You move into the month sort of feeling, I'm not feeling so great. That's when they're ready. That's when they're coming out of their ascension symptoms, their transformation, their dark night of the soul. Yes, many readers will say that's already happened. Every twin is in a different way, so it very much does depend on how long it's taken your twin to let go of their, their chakra blockages, to allow that to transform. I know with my Kundalini awakening, it would open up and it would close down again, and that's really part of the transformation. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that is something that you work on in order to get to that place. But I do feel they're ready. They're more ready and open. Now, their chakra card's compassion. Now, it may be in reverse because they weren't having compassion to themselves, but they were having too much compassion for lower frequency energies. Whatever has caused their despair might be the separation from you, which is very possible, especially with some of these cards coming through. But it's also the regret of the paths that perhaps in general in their life, they're realizing that compassion has been problematic when certain people they've directly shown compassion to, they've taken them for a ride as well, very similar to what's happened perhaps between your connection or very separately. But again, it's heart chakra. It's really having this forgiveness towards themselves of giving our power away, really, because we do tend to give our power away. It's because we're trusting in a situation. We're hoping it can evolve to a point. There's something with them going on where they're coming out of the woods. It might be they're finally able to pick themselves up, but they're having a realization. Now with you, this can be really a karmic ending. And again, it can be on your side, their side, or jointly. An old cycle is ending. An old way of doing things is ending. And it's a completion of a particular path. This can be your awareness of what's going on with them, or both of you may be ending a style of a path in an energetic level to move to a new chapter. Both of you knew this was going to happen, but I do feel you're like, oh gosh, I saw this coming, And it's something that wasn't coming together, something that wasn't feeling quite right. And you could see the falseness in whatever you were investing in, Libran, but you tried, I feel. And this could be connected to a previous partnership. Or, your mindset's connected to relationships, for instance. What a connection is, very much in the codependent frequency, especially with lyrics, when you do listen to them and you're becoming, when you're waking up, in spiritual terminology we call it. We tend to listen to the lyrics, and the more we have to do the work on ourselves, and we don't have that ability to hide under the wing of, mother-father frequency, then partner frequency, which was still, an aspect of nurturing that perhaps we felt a lack within. We then come to a realization, a lot of the songs that are being, sung, they're transforming. 2018, they were starting to spiritually transform. And interestingly enough, it was in wave 3. And with wave 3, they're much younger, but their mindsets connected to connections was through their parents. That was changing those paradigms of connections, and especially within their life. So it's having this realization that perhaps a mindset you were holding within connections has very much changed, and you're understanding, for instance, you don't need a ring on your finger to be connected or married, or that perhaps it doesn't have to look a particular way or come about in a certain fashion. You could be feminine, but you could be masculine. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of indecision about how to deal with something. But I'm hearing pride comes before a fall and you're working too hard. It might be that you're trying to do everything on your own when there is people around you that can help you. That you're multitasking, that but you need to let go of something that is a burden. And I'm going to pull a clarifier on that because I feel it's got a little bit more to say. 2, fair enough. Again. Okay, it's your reality of. Interesting. A lot of times when a twin says to you, and this is masculine or feminine, you know, it depends on who holds a certain frequency of the initial runner. I'm not ready. And it can happen on either side. You know, not being ready doesn't mean no. That doesn't mean to say that you have to tolerate certain things or be at a lower frequency. But it may be that you're fearing that perhaps you're not ready. Perhaps you're unable to achieve with this connection, and it's fear-based frequency. But again, I am picking up fear-based frequency of really wondering whether you've done enough work on yourself, if you can handle the job at hand with twin. And again, it is fear-based frequency, so it's not that it's a reality. And you're thinking, should I take a leap of faith? Or if it comes, am I ready to take that leap of faith? You're very focused on your career at the moment. And it could be that they're directly focused on their career. And it doesn't mean to say, and I feel really with the marriage card coming through and the way I was explaining that you're looking at things very differently, it can be that you actually just totally change the both of you and you're realizing, well, it's not going to happen. It's more you're just feeling okay in the frequency of doing what you need to do at a 3D level to align it correctly to be ready. Regardless of whether you've had communication with your twin, you're trying to create that foundation. And as I said, with Librans this year, it is very much connected to communication, employment, and there can be tricky points in April in aspects of communication. Definitely January, February, but if you can keep grounded through that frequency and keep going and understand its process, you will get there. So whatever's making you unprepared is due to the direct commitment of the connection. You're very committed, spiritually, especially in the 5D. But at the same time, it's scenarios going on around you at the moment that are impacting you. Now, twin's going to be very outspoken, and I feel they're just going to be really direct. They can have some dramas going on, you know, with their health, with family. Family, I feel, is really impacting them. But their frequency is really maturing. And there can be communication coming in from them, either through the grapevine or directly from twin. Now, this is in relation to a change of plans and something they're really excited about. They're really out of that melancholia energy. But there are delays, but they're trying to give you a heads up, either energetically, through the 5D channeling or directly to you in person. Their lesson is going to be through this transformation in the next 2 weeks. It's, you know, who are they really connected to? Where is the spiritual connection? But also understanding that even without that person there being twin, they're still energetically feeling your frequency. So it can be if you're at a distance, you're checking in with each other. Others of you, it can be just this awareness of it if you're a cross-watcher and your Libran's twin. But it's also letting go of who they don't feel spiritually connected to any longer, very separate to twin. For you, Libran, you're letting go of anything that doesn't feel spiritually connected to you either. So you're really doing the same thing. But your lesson is going to be, you know, you can't run from yourselves, because this is each of you being uniquely masculine, feminine frequency. So it's almost like you're no longer able to run from yourself, but you have to face the realities. The realities of what's going on that feels lower frequency in your own personal lives, to be able to adjust to, if you're choosing to, be, you know, connected together and have that consciousness, okay? Now, energy between. Okay, you're letting go of what doesn't serve you. And this can be, again, as I said, it can be for those of you who have a karmic, someone who you don't feel is in alignment with you. And that's whoever you spiritually feel. That can be for some of you, your twin. But you will only know who you feel inclined to release energetically. It can also be a meditation of that factor, not necessarily, you know, twin. But whatever is happening, as soon as you've decided, something again is doing a 360. And this isn't in relation to money. This is in relation to news coming through of a friendly nature. You know, it could be a peace treaty. It could be news through a friend who knows twin. But it also could be an offering of let's start from the bottom up. But it can also be friendly advice. But I'm also thinking there's a lot of passion here, especially with the Knight of Wands. Now, although you might not be able to bring it together right away, there is a separation from, again, a sweetheart. Now, this could be your side, their side, both. It's no surprise, though. You felt it was coming. Okay, part of this is part of destiny, leaving this person behind, or people. So however this directly relates to you, it can even be leaving the old skin behind and moving forward to the new you, you know, allowing that to transform, allowing you to, you know, dive deep into who you are and be expressive. Now, whatever is hindering the both of you in your own lives or jointly, yes, there's a lot of burdens on your back. Yes, perhaps part of this twin flame path and the way, you know, the situations are, there are burdens, but they're not permanent. They're going to be dropped. Okay, whatever doesn't serve either of you that you can't handle, you're going to release it, because I'm hearing sharing burdens, both jointly and maybe externally, and giving other parties who need to take accountability for certain things, giving that to them. I feel with your twin, they could be quite cutting towards these individuals who are manipulating them. And with you, I feel you'll be quite, you know, vocal. But I don't feel it's in a lower chakra manner. I feel it's at an inner truth point of view. But you'll be assertive but not aggressive. It's really coming out of the mental prison and allowing, you know, the cords that were toxic to be released so that you can physically move forward. Now, these individuals or situations that you're leaving behind, the both of you, it could be that people might be looking at you both as being irresponsible, but really it's because they're not wanting to directly take accountability for their sides. But whatever's coming is going to make you happy. So there can be jealousy connected to whatever path you're choosing, either separately or jointly. But at the same time, it's due to whatever needed to go was it just wasn't consistent. It just had to stop. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll come back mid-month. Got to check the video I did. Yeah, mid-month. And I will see you during the live sessions for any psychic downloads I have. As well as if you are wanting a booking, you can go to the link which is in the information box. And I'll see you on the channel during the month. Bye.